The content I just gave you is based on the book The Millionaire Next Door. The book is a compilation of research done by the two authors in the profiles of American millionaires Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko. That book is the primary source for all the principles, habits, and examples of millionaires who live quietly and build wealth over time. Watch the end and subscribe my channel. I will show where you can find this book. Have you ever noticed the people around you who live quietly, who don't show off their wealth, yet seem to have a calm confidence in their lives? Perhaps they drive a reliable old car, live in an ordinary home, and wear simple clothes. Maybe you've seen them in your neighborhood, at the grocery store, or walking down the street. They are the people the world often overlooks, yet they possess something extraordinary: true financial independence, freedom, and security. These people are the millionaires next door. Most of us imagine millionaires as celebrities, athletes, or tech moguls, flaunting luxury cars and mansions, live amazing life. But reality is far more inspiring. Real millionaires are self-made, ordinary people with extraordinary habits. They are small business owners, teachers, plumbers, engineers, nurses, electricians, doctors, and accountants. They didn't inherit their wealth. They built it over decades with patience, careful planning, and disciplined financial choices. Take Jim, a plumber in a small town. Every week, he saved $50 from his paycheck. He invested it in mutual funds and later diversified into real estate. He didn't chase trends. He didn't buy flashy cars. He didn't feel the need to impress anyone. Over 30 years, his steady decisions turned into $4 million. His neighbors drove new SUVs, splurged on vacations, and still worried about bills. Jim drove a 10-year-old truck and slept soundly at night, knowing he was free. Wealth, he understood, is what you accumulate, not what you display. Jim's typical day is simple but disciplined. He wakes up at 6 and eats a basic breakfast of eggs and toast and reviews his daily schedule. He checks in on his investments for a few minutes, making notes on any bills or upcoming expenses. At work, he focuses entirely on providing excellent plumbing service. He doesn't waste time on distractions. After work, he often repairs small things around his home or helps friends and neighbors. Evenings are quiet, spent reading books about personal finance or occasionally enjoying a family meal. On weekends, Jim might take a short road trip in his reliable truck, appreciating the calm and freedom he has built for himself. Linda, a school teacher, offers another example. She earned a modest salary but saved 20% of every paycheck. She lived within her means, avoided impulse purchases, and invested patiently. By the time she retired, she had over $2 million in assets. Linda's daily routine reflects her financial discipline. She wakes early, brews coffee at home, and spends 15 minutes reviewing her budget and any small investments. At school, she dedicates herself to her students while keeping her mind on long-term plans. She packs lunch every day, avoiding unnecessary spending. And in the evening, she enjoys quiet activities, reading, walking, or working on small home projects. Every decision she makes reflects her long-term focus. Frugality is at the heart of every millionaire next door. Frugality doesn't mean living in misery. It means making intentional choices about where your money goes. Millionaires delay gratification. They buy what they need, not what will impress others. They repair cars instead of replacing them unnecessarily. They cook at home, invest in quality basics instead of flashy brands, and focus on what truly matters. Every dollar saved becomes a seed, growing over time into financial freedom. Time, just like money, is a currency that millionaires value deeply. They spend hours learning, planning, and improving themselves. They avoid empty busyness, knowing that productivity and focus compound over decades. A millionaire once said, "I used to waste time watching others get rich. Then I decided to study how to get there myself." Their mornings are intentional, their evenings reflective, and their weekends planned for growth rather than distraction. Time is their tool. Used wisely, it becomes an engine for wealth. And yet, appearances are deceptive. Most millionaires drive ordinary cars, such as Toyota, Honda, and Ford, reliable vehicles that serve a purpose rather than project status. Tom, a retired mechanic, drove his pickup for 15 years while investing the money he could have spent on new cars. At retirement, he had $5 million. His choice was simple, a reliable truck in the driveway, or financial freedom in the bank. He chose freedom. Discipline is the quiet heartbeat of every millionaire next door. They save before they spend, invest before they reward themselves, and treat money as a tool rather than a toy. Bill, a postal worker, never earned more than $50,000 a year. Yet, by living intentionally, avoiding waste, and investing consistently, he retired with $3 million. Discipline may sound mundane, but it is the foundation of every fortune. Education and knowledge about money are equally vital. Millionaires read and study. They understand that ignorance is expensive. They learn about investing, taxes, and financial planning, not to gamble, but to protect and grow their freedom. Mary, a nurse, transformed her life after taking a simple personal finance course at 30. She started budgeting, paying herself first, and investing consistently. By retirement, she was financially independent. Knowledge, more than income, created her security. When millionaires invest, they keep it simple. They avoid hot stock tips and speculative schemes. They focus on steady, long-term growth through mutual funds, index funds, real estate, and small businesses. Sam and Rosa, a middle-class couple, invested $500 every month starting in their 30s. 30 years later, they had over $1 million. Their secret wasn't genius. It was consistency, patience, and avoiding emotional decisions. They don't time the market. They spend time in it. Debt is a silent killer of wealth, and millionaires avoid it whenever possible. They borrow only for assets, never for status. A loan to buy a house you can afford is smart. A loan for a luxury car to impress neighbors is dangerous. A loan to start a business you understand can be wise. They live below their means, maintain freedom, and ensure that money never owns them. Freedom and debt cannot coexist in the same life. Millionaires also cultivate the right mindset about work. Most are not in glamorous professions. They are plumbers, teachers, accountants, and business owners. They focus on providing value, solving problems, and mastering their craft. Passion alone is not enough. They combine it with purpose, consistency, and skill. They play the long game. They love their work quietly, without the need for applause. Teaching children the right lessons about money is another hallmark. Millionaire parents instill responsibility, the value of work, and financial wisdom. Children are taught to earn, save, and invest from a young age. Susan, a self-made millionaire, gave her children allowances only if they worked for them, matching savings to teach investment habits. She said, "I wanted my children to learn the dignity of earning, not the comfort of expecting." Wealth is passed down not just in dollars, but in habits and values. Lifestyle inflation is the trap that keeps many from becoming wealthy. It occurs when income rises and spending rises even faster. Millionaires resist it. When they earn more, they save more instead of upgrading their lifestyle. John, a small business owner, saw his income rise but kept his modest home and car. The difference was invested. 10 years later, he owned multiple rental properties outright. Every dollar not spent created another dollar in freedom. Real-life stories bring these lessons to life. Daniel and Sarah, a couple with a combined income of $90,000, lived modestly, saved consistently, and invested wisely. By retirement, their net worth was over $4 million. Their typical daily life includes early mornings, home-cooked meals, family walks, and evening reflection on finances and goals. Harold, who started fixing lawnmowers in his garage, built a landscaping business and invested profits, achieving financial independence without ever seeking fame. Millionaires spend their time differently. They guard it, invest it, and prioritize meaningful activities. They learn, read, plan, and reflect. They understand that time, unlike money, cannot be earned back. They don't waste hours chasing trends or distractions. They use their time to build skill, wealth, and freedom. Interestingly, millionaires are not obsessed with money. They respect it, manage it, but never worship it. Money is a tool for freedom, choice, and impact. Rebecca, an accountant, explained it simply: money is like fire. It can cook your food or burn your house. The difference is how you use it. They use money wisely, not to impress, but to live fully. Generosity is part of their lives. They give back quietly to their families and communities. George, a small business owner, helped families in need without fanfare. Millionaires understand that wealth has purpose to create positive impact, not attention. Gratitude and humility keep them grounded. The common myths about wealth are often misleading. You don't need a high income, luck, or glamorous jobs. Millionaires earn ordinary incomes, but manage them extraordinarily. They avoid debt, invest consistently, and let habits, not emotions, guide them. It's never too late to start. The key is commitment and patience. And what about the ultimate goal? Real wealth is freedom. The freedom to choose how you live, spend your time, and help others. Simplicity is luxury. Quiet homes, modest cars, and intentional lives bring peace and clarity. They live intentionally, not for appearance, but for contentment and choice. Legacy matters. Millionaires think beyond themselves. They ask, what will my money and my life mean to others when I'm gone? They invest in values, wisdom, and teaching others how to live responsibly. Wealth without wisdom is fleeting. Wealth with wisdom endures. So how can you become the millionaire next door? The roadmap is simple. Live below your means. Track every dollar. Avoid consumer debt. Invest consistently. Continue learning. Protect your time. And give back. Do these things day after day, year after year, and quietly, without show, your financial independence will grow. Remember, the richest people are often invisible. They whisper wealth into existence through habits, patience, and purpose. They don't need applause. They need peace. And with consistency, discipline, and a long-term vision, you too can become one of them. One day someone might look at your quiet life and say, that's the millionaire next door. Spend less than you earn. Invest patiently. Live intentionally. Freedom follows. I'll put link on description where can you find this book. Also, you can find on your library. Around your area, don't forget click that black button to subscribe my channel and like. Comment. See next audiobook.